Welcome back to the channel, and this week we've got a 1/48 Boulton Paul Defiant Night Fighter 1 variant from Airfix. This is an interesting model here, and something I've been watching for quite a long time, hoping to pick one up and seen it around the sort of £18 to £20 mark. At a model show recently, found this one at £10, so couldn't actually leave it there, had to go for it, so it's come on back with me now, and I thought we'd have a look at it and see what we got. So this being the Night Fighter variant, both schemes are black, which, you know, there's a lot of difficulty I think comes with finishing off an actual Night Fighter finish and making it look good, but when you've got a shark's mouth one there, it does make you think maybe we should try it. So let's get in the box and see what we got. So first off, as always, let's just give a little run through the instructions to see what's coming ahead of us. So you got straight into the cockpit and cockpit floor as well. Of course, this has got the turret at the back, so it's a little bit more complex. So you've got all the parts coming in here, looking pretty good there, to be honest. Colour call-outs are all Humbrol, but I'm starting to get my head around these colours now. So you've basically got interior green, silver, and a brown colour. And a few bits that are black, but mostly it's all pretty straightforward colours. Sidewall detail, interestingly, has the separate raised parts, so they actually go on with the sidewall detail, gets glued onto it, so that's a bit different. And then all of that gets made up here, running through there, so you've got the rear part of the fuselage, an interior section getting ready for the turret to come in. We've got an instrument panel from decals, so that should be pretty good. And then once all that's in, you get the fuselage halves together, and we've got some bracing bars here as well on the area where the gun turret's going to go in, and that's just to make sure everything's lined up. So you cut them off once it's joined, which is a nice touch. Then we've got the gear bays going in, and some detail here for looks like possibly gun bays or something like that can be opened. And then the lower section of the wing is going on to bring those two halves together. Then we've got the outer parts of the wings going on as well, and the fuselage then sits just in a sort of ridge above them. Ailerons going on, so they're movable. And then you've got the air intake, I believe, underneath there, and you've got an option to have that open or shut. Or that might be the oil cooler. Let me know in the comments below. I always get this wrong. I think that one of these is an air intake, one's an oil cooler. Down onto the tailplane section, so horizontal stabilisers, elevators and rudders are movable. And then we've got the upper cowling going on as well, tail wheel, landing gear can go in if you're going to have it in flight, or you've got landing gear coming on if you're going to have it wheels down. We've got weight on wheels as well. Then we start to think about the turret, so that comes together. Looks extremely well detailed there, actually, all the way through there. Guns going on at the end, and then the thread through the glass like this, and then we've got sections going on at the back to close the turret. So a little bit, got to be a little bit careful there, gluing the glass to glass. Then we've got the front section of the canopy going on as well, which has options for open or closed. So that's a nice touch as well. And that's the same for the gun turret as well. You can have it turned to the side and the two windows slid back like that. So there's a lot going on in this kit, to be honest. There's plenty of detail here. More options here if you're going to have it open, I believe this is. Then the propeller goes on and comes together and goes on, and then we've got a few other small details, exhaust coming in, and then we're starting to think about bringing the model to a close. So the marking schemes are number 151 Squadron. For the Royal Air Force, Wittering, Cambridgeshire, England, February 1941. This is the ones with the shark's mouth and the red lettering, which is quite striking. Obviously all black Night Fighter scheme. Then the B option is flown by Squadron Leader Philip James Saunders, number 264 Squadron, Royal Air Force, Debden and Biggin Hill in England, December 1940, February 1941. And that's at PPS number N3313. And then we've got some stencil data there as well. So straight into it, looking at the decals, this is the shark's mouth option, this is option B, these are the generic ones, so you've got the silver walkway there as well, and the large roundels. I seem to have some residue on my roundel there, not sure what that is. Anyway, The instrument panel is nicely done with it being clear, so you just paint it, stick that on, and it should give you the right effect. I do like this shark's mouth option here, I must admit. I think I'll probably give this one a go in the all black scheme and see if I can sort of pull it off. It's going to be a bit difficult, so it'll be a good one to test some new techniques. And then we get the big bag of sprues, and they're all crammed in there, and it's heat sealed. So let's rip it open and see what we got. So starting with the clear parts, they are very nicely done. A little bit of movement on that one, it's come off the sprues a bit. And you've got plenty there to have it open or closed. This is the closed turret, that's the open turret, and these are the bits that slide inward, I believe. Or outward, something like that, and that's how they open. And it all looks very crisp. It's that other type of plastic that people say that is like the English moulded plastic. Not sure where it's from, but the clear parts are a lot crisper, but they're a little bit brittle as well. So something just to check on that. It's not got that softness to it. You can see it sort of feels brittle, but it's a lot more refined, so I'm happy to have all the parts in this, I must admit. So starting with the fuselage halves, we've got very nicely fine recessed panels lines. Actually, it's not it's usually is with the trenches. This is a nice looking kit, really nice looking kit actually. You've got nice raised fasteners, that's the word, not rivets, fasteners around here on the cowling portion. Good interior detail there as well with these sort of, they look like louvers but they're not, it's just sort of like corrugated kind of effect. Yeah, it all looks very good. These are the cockpit floor and then the sort of part that goes behind the pilot for the turret as well. All very nicely done. Smooth tyres, flattened as well, so it looks good. I did say about these being for opening gun panels, but I don't think that's the case. I think they just give the wing and then these are the wings, so you can see that these upper parts go onto there and it leaves this ridge that the fuselage half sections join onto. Panel lining is a little bit heavier down here and on the wings, I must admit. It's not quite as refined as it was on the fuselage halves. But very nice strong structural detail here for getting everything clamped together in the right place. And you've got their more refined locating pins as well, cropping up here. A little bit of wire detail in the wheel wells, no ejector pin marks in there. Nice subtle fabric detail on the rudder. Again, a little bit heavy on the lines on the horizontal stabilisers. Then we've got a detail sprue here which has some of the bulkheads for the interior details, the chair, landing gear doors, propeller hub, machine guns for the turret and a few other small sections. Again, it all looks pretty good. Very refined little gear stick there, control stick or control lever. You've got B and F on these grills, so you know which goes to back and front, which is a nice touch. Very impressive so far. And then lastly we've got the main propeller section, the exhausts as well. Two different types of exhausts it looks like, and there are some slight sink marks in those. A couple of ejector pin marks on some of the raised parts here that go on to make the sidewall details. Nice raised bevels on the instrument panel. Overall, looks pretty good to be honest. So there we have it, the Night Fighter version, the Night Fighter variant of the Boulton Paul Defiant in 1/48 scale from Airfix. Nice looking kit actually. Bit variable on the depths of panel lines and the definition. The fuselage seems a lot better than the wings do, which seem quite deep and wide actually, the panel lines on the wings, but the fuselage looks really, really crisp and fine. So if only we could get that across all the models and that kind of level, that would be really good. But nevertheless, that is this kit, so hopefully this review has been of interest to you. If you've got any comments, I'd like to see them, so post them below. If you like what you've seen, please consider giving the video a like. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button to stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.